Welcome to the NBA Profit Show, powered by TV Analytics. I'm John Metler. He's Adam Scherher, and we are 2-0 again yesterday. So 4-0 this week. Back to going live on the shows, back together, doing the shows again. We're 4-0, so we got to keep this rolling. Jay McDaniels, 2 dimes, huge plus money, plus 155. Jimmy Butler goes under on the points. Those are the 2 winners yesterday. I'm pretty sure Jimmy Butler is still injured from that back injury, if I had to guess. I don't think he looks right. I know some people were like dogging him that he just didn't show up in the series, but I feel like he's probably still decently injured. That's what it looks like to me. Celtics, they beat the New York Knicks. Adam, would the Celtics taking out the Knicks be like the worst possible outcome moving forward for like ratings, NBA Finals? Like they go against the Pacers. You pretty much need the Knicks in the NBA Finals, do we not, for there to be like a half decent matchup? I don't think they could, the Pacers or the Celtics without Jayson Tatum can even compete against the Thunder or the Wolves, I guess. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think from a competitive standpoint, I'm with you. Like, you kind of just have to be rooting for the Knicks at this point. Like, maybe if the Celtics somehow get a fully healthy Porzingis, like they'd still be really good in that case. But clearly, that's not very likely to happen. Obviously, they're not going to have Tatum. So yeah, I kind of think you have to be rooting for the Knicks. I mean, like I think the Pacers are underrated. Like I think they're a better defensive team than they get credit for, but they're still, I don't think, any match for OKC. Not that the Knicks really are either, but yeah, I mean, I think the Knicks are your best bet.
Yeah, not that the Knicks, I agree with you. Not that the Knicks are either. I think the Knicks just would make better television at that point, where I don't think like maybe they wouldn't. I honestly think the Pacers would get swept. I do agree with you. I've been saying I think the Pacers are better than they get credit for. But like you look at those matchups, like if Tyrese Halliburton all of a sudden had like Alex Caruso, Lou Dort as his primary defenders, or like Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, however they want to play that really starts to blow up that offense of Indiana Pacers, and it starts to look a lot different. I feel like both those teams, I mean, we're also counting out the Nuggets here. I guess the Nuggets, I think taking out Nikola Jokic might be one of the hardest things in the NBA playoffs here. But you brought up Porzingis. I saw you're not a fan of him when it comes to the DFS lineups after yesterday. I don't think the Celtics, they're just not even telling us what's wrong with this guy at this point, are they not? Like they haven't said anything. And like he comes into games, he plays 20 minutes, he doesn't start, all of a sudden he sits, then he sits at halftime. Like we don't even really know what's wrong with him. Like what is going on with Porzingis?
Yeah, I mean, all we got yesterday was that he couldn't breathe during the game, so that's why he didn't play. But yeah, it was a brutal DFS spot yesterday because he was really cheap because of his role with Tatum and in the series in general. So it was kind of like he was either going to just be the best play imaginable if he was able to stay on the floor and be healthy, or he was going to be a complete zero like he was. And you kind of just had to guess at which one it was going to be. So yeah, it was a really tough spot there. But yeah, I mean, obviously a huge impact for that team too. Like if he actually somehow got to 100%, they're good again, even without Tatum. But it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. And it's been going on for a while now, but like it's so tough with something like that too, from a betting standpoint, from a DFS standpoint, whatever, because like it's an illness or the recovery from an illness, and it's just going to vary from day to day. It's not like it's an injury where it's just like, well, he pulled his hamstring and it was 2 weeks ago, so now he's good. Like obviously the Celtics didn't even know yesterday what to expect. Like I'm pretty sure if they were aware he wasn't going to be able to breathe, they would have started Sam Hauser or started Peyton Pritchard. So it's just so difficult from a betting or DFS standpoint to have any idea what you're dealing with.
Yeah, that's a great point for the player props, because you think, like you said, if he's like 3 weeks removed from a hamstring and you can start to see the minutes go from like 24 to 26 to 20, and it starts to climb up, but we just don't know what you're getting night in, night out. And then they're not deep enough. Like there's only like 6-7 guys playing already. So if he's like all of a sudden just completely out, like yesterday, like all of a sudden Peyton Pritchard plays 39 minutes, Luke Cornett plays a ton of minutes. I think Porzingis probably is someone they've talked about financially they need to move on from, just because their roster's too expensive. And I feel like Luke Cornett just solidified that yesterday, that, hey, you can move on from Kristaps Porzingis. That was quite the game from him. 7 blocks. Big time showing there. I thought they would go the double big, and I'm sure that's why you played them in DFS lineup. And then all of a sudden he just was out at halftime. So yeah, like you said, there's still a good team if these guys just kind of step up. Like Porzingis, even Drew Holiday, like maybe score a little bit more. Like you can't just be that role player anymore. So yeah, it would be interesting. I hope the Knicks win in 6, though. I kind of want the Knicks to play the Pacers. Let's get rolling.
That'll be fun too, for the reason Bobby mentioned in chat, just the historical element of Indiana and the Knicks.
Yeah, and they had the series last year, and it wasn't there's kind of bad blood there, just even between the matchups that are there right now. Let's get going in the picks here. We only have one game tonight: Denver Nuggets, Oklahoma City Thunder. And the first one, we're going to bet MGM. And speaking of Nikola Jokic, we're going Nikola Jokic under 28.5 points, minus 105. Once again, that's Nikola Jokic under 20.5 points, minus 105. Adam, you want to break this one down?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of volatility here, if you look at what Jokic has done through the first 5 games of this series, he's averaging 30 points per game, but his median is like 27. You have like a 40-point game, a 42-point game, and then 3 out of 5 games that are below this 28.5 mark. So I think this is a spot where you can kind of just take advantage of his most recent game being really, really good. Obviously, he has the ability to go over 28.5, but this is still a very difficult matchup defensively. The Thunder have plenty of bigs that they can throw at him. Not that there's ever a clear solution for Jokic, but I think you're just getting kind of an inflated line here. And you and I have both mentioned it before. The nice thing about betting is if you bet under 28.5 here, and it's another one of the games where he goes and scores 45, you're still losing your 1.05 units or whatever. It doesn't matter how wrong you end up being, but I think the true line here should be closer to like 27, given that that is his median in this series, and you have seen plenty of games where he's well below 28.5. There's a lot of volatility here, and I like this price at the inflated number.
Yeah, even last game we kind of brought up, I think last show, like he scored 40 plus, but he looked more bothered to me than he's looked in like a lot of series and a lot of games where like he's very much arguing calls. I mean, he always does, but like it seems like the antics are like way higher. He's a lot more annoyed. Like we said, I think it's Jalen Williams who comes in and just really like annoys him because he has 6 fouls to give. He's very physical and all these things. And then all of a sudden there's like no breath for him, right? It's Isaiah Hartenstein and then it's Chet Holmgren coming over as help. And this is kind of why, I mean, I think the Thunder, honestly, they signed Isaiah Hartenstein for Nikola Jokic. Like you kind of knew like, hey, we're in the Western Conference, probably gonna have to take out Jokic to win anything. And let's have 3 bigs. Let's do the complete opposite of Los Angeles Lakers and try to play small ball against everyone. So like this is built for Jokic and it's kind of showing up now. And I think that's huge. Like you said, he's been very inefficient. I mean, he did have 40 plus points last game. Hopefully we are not those OKC Thunder fans. I don't know if you saw that video where he hit that like fade away, where he just chucks it at the end of the shot clock and he made it. And you just look at the crowd and everyone's like, oh my God, are you kidding me with this guy? So hopefully that's not us tonight. Hopefully he goes under 28.5 points. That's the first bet. Second bet, we're going to go to DraftKings. And we are going Russell Westbrook over 3.5 assists plus 135. Adam, you want to break this one down?
Yeah, I think this is very, very similar to the Russell Westbrook over rebounds bet that we had the last time Denver played. You're getting good plus money here at plus 135. He is averaging 3 assists per game in this series in 24 minutes per game, 6.4 potential assists per game in the series. The potential assist numbers have actually increased over the last couple of games. Had 8 last game, had 7 the game before that. Only played 19 minutes or 20 minutes last game. So on the one hand, it's a negative coming off that game where he only played 20 minutes. On the other hand, you did see, I think, like I said, it was 8 potential assists in those 20 minutes. So the playing time is still going to be volatile. You and I talked about it the other day that I think on average you're going to get mid-20s in minutes from Westbrook, but there will be games where you get less. We have him projected for 25 here, but he's run kind of bad in conversion rate on his potential assists so far in this series, which isn't super surprising given how good OKC is defensively. But it's a pretty low number for Westbrook, given that we're seeing the potential assists trend up even when his minutes don't increase. And, obviously it's something that he's capable of doing. So really it's just liking the price here. Very similar to when we had the rebound bet the other day.
What is the minutes projection you guys have for Westbrook?
25.
25. Yeah. So I would say that's about like the 19 seemed really low. The thing is like, you look at this roster, they don't really have anyone else to go to. So I would say I would think like that 19-20 is like his complete floor. Like that's like and I know Michael Porter Jr., it's kind of like hit or miss with him right now. Like, are they going to keep going to him? I mean, his shoulder is really bad. He's not making shots, but at the same time, there's no one else to really turn to. I don't think they want to play Julian Strawther for minutes. I don't think they want to play, Peyton Watson. You are at home. So it's like you kind of have that top 6. And I agree with you. It's just like one of those the potential assists. The potential assists for him, you were saying like 6, I think it was about like 7 in this series. That's like a lot higher than what it was last series. And I think even like kind of at the end of the regular season there where he was, his potential assists weren't really there. So in this series and in this matchup, the potential assists are higher. At some point, they just also need to convert, right? So you are home too. You would think those shooters kind of shoot it better that you're giving it to. That's Jokic and Westbrook's assists have kind of like fallen, not Westbrook, but like Jokic's assists have kind of fallen off a cliff here. That's just because Christian Brown and Michael Porter Jr. need to make shots too, right? So you're back at home. I mean, Porter had 21 in game 3 there at home. Brown had 17. So Russell Westbrook over 3.5 assists. Was there something else you want to add there?
Yeah, I think another thing that is just kind of interesting and favorable because of it being a plus money bet is the volatility in Westbrook's minutes. Like if you look at the 5 games in this series, 30 minutes, 27 minutes, 22, 22, and 20. So you haven't actually gotten like that 24, 25-minute game. It's either well over or well under. And he can get there on assists in fewer minutes. Obviously you could just run good. But when you're getting plus money, like obviously you don't even have to win this bet 50% of the time. The fact that it's not like he's hard capped at 24, 25 minutes. If he's playing well, if they just change up the rotation because it's an elimination game and, they last game, they upped Peyton Watson from like 9 minutes to 15. They went from 5 to 10 on Strother. If they cut those minutes and they just go right back to Westbrook, like you're live to get 27, 28 minutes from Westbrook.
Yeah, I think he played, was it game 1 or I forget which one they won. Did they win game 1? I think he played 30 minutes in one of the games they won too, right? So that always stands out too. It's like, I always look at that. It's like, okay, he played 19 minutes. They lost. They lost game 5, right? And it's like he played 30 minutes. They won game 1. So if you're a coaching staff, you sit down, you kind of like review it all. It's like, maybe we should get Westbrook a couple more minutes. Like you said, even if you just take away, because I think last game, Peyton Watson and Julian Strother, I think Julian Strother got like around 8 minutes. So you just take some of those minutes away and give it to Westbrook, we're cooking at this price. So the 2 bets, we're going Nikola Jokic under 28.5 points, minus 105. Russell Westbrook over 3.5 assists, plus 135. This concludes the NBA Prop Pick Show, powered by EV Analytics. We will be back. I don't know if Tuesday. I don't know if there's games on Tuesday. I think it depends how these games play out. I know the Eastern Conference Finals, I think, starts Wednesday. So we'll definitely be back Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Maybe Tuesday. We'll have to check the schedule. Definitely Wednesday. Good luck with your bets. Enjoy the weekend. Hopefully we go 6-0 on the week. Del, play the song.